You made your bed and now you gotta lay in it. Or do you?
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want it all of that, so that's why I bought.
Hey y'all, welcome back. We are back for movie night part 2. So let us just go ahead and jump right on into Love Island USA. So the girls get to pick again, right? So they decided that they was gonna pick door 2, which happens to be Corbin's door. So, and I feel like it was Corbin's, but it also was a bit of Casey's as well, because Corbin is seen talking about Kenzie and how he feels like Kenzie is gonna F him over in Casa more. I think that's when he said she probably over there busting splits right now. Okay. Meanwhile, you got Parmita over here doing the most. It was something about that, like, oh my God, what is like, girl, you know you were so excited to see yourself on screen slobbing this damn man down. You know you was excited to see it, and I feel like you were excited to see Kenzie see it too. Because remember when you were over in Casa, and then I think they sent the mail when the mail went over there and they saw what all Kenzie was doing, and she was like, "Yeah, let's make her jealous" or something. You said so. You were looking forward to that. Why you trying to act like you're cringing now? Well, anywho, she loved it. Casey said in this scene that he was more attracted to TT, right? He talked about TT pursuing him, and Anaya is like, baby, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Like, I'm sick of hearing it. Then they played Corbin saying the Villa girls were like more of high school, whereas the Casa girls were given college, right? So Corbin was saying that he hasn't thought about Kenzie. I think that was something else that was discussed in that video. And Kenzie, she hears where Sydney says Kenzie likes anybody who likes her. So the girls are letting her know, like, listen, we was talking about you in that, in that scene. Of course, you saw it. One part me to say that she wasn't scared of you, but I was not the person. It wasn't TT and it wasn't Amora that said that you like anybody that like you. That was Sydney. And baby, Sydney went wrong, and Sydney probably she gives that she's that blunt that she would have told you to your face too if she was sitting there. She would repeat herself and tell you that because you know that's true. So Corbin says that Kenzie gave him the ick, right? That was something else that was talked about. Baby, when Corbin was watching himself on screen, Corbin didn't give not one. Corbin did not care. He was looking at the screen, kind of laughing the whole time, like unbothered as fuck. And it was something about Corbin kind of owning his energy a bit when he was over in Casa, but also acknowledging and taking accountability for things that I don't know. It was something about it for me that I can respect and appreciate how Corbin was operating. And maybe it's because it was Kenzie, right? Because Kenzie was also getting it in. So I feel like Kenzie getting it in, having her fun in Casa, talking to this guy and talking to that guy, doing what she doing, it kind of made it seem like, well, hell, what Corbin did wasn't that bad for real, for real. I mean, I think for me, the only thing that Corbin really did, I'm sorry, I don't give a damn about him saying the girls in the villa was giving high school girls. Y'all were. It is what it is, right? But the only thing for Corbin that I had an issue with was Corbin telling Kenzie that he was starting to catch feelings for her. And then, like the next day, getting a call to go to Casa and then acting like, what feelings you talking about? Who is these feelings you speak of? That was the only thing. So it's given that you really weren't catching no feelings for real, for real. Anywho, Kenzie tells Parmita, I'm not somebody to be scared of, and you ain't got to be scared of me. Like the fuck, like why would you say that? Like the fuck. Like why would you be scared of me? Like the fuck, right? And Parmita said, "Cause I ain't no scary. It's BIT. Like I'm not a scary person." And Kenzie was like, I feel like that comment was rude. And Parmita said, and I don't think the comment was rude. And I agree. I do understand Kenzie feeling a way about what was said. Like, dang, you ain't gotta be scared of me. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel Parmita on I wasn't trying to be rude, but let's be clear. Y'all was talking shit. Like both sides was talking shit. So I really don't care for real. Like what she said wasn't wrong. She not scared of you. Like if you were gonna try and act a certain way, she not scared of you. Like, I mean, it didn't have to get to that point. So I understand Kenzie saying that, but at the same time, like, I'm unbothered by you at the end of the day. And I'm unbothered by whatever connection you and this man had. Okay. I don't feel like it was rude. Feel how you gonna feel. All right. Corbin, he says what he said was true. I said, oh, you better stand on what you said. Corbin was like, what I said was true. He said, I grew a connection and that's what we here to do. And I'm sorry if I disrespected you when I was over there in Casa More. And Kenzie says, I don't care about your connection. You keep bringing up your connection. Like, I don't care about your connection. I think you do care about the connection, Kenzie. You do. Because if he didn't have a connection, you would have been able to bring him back, and then you would have had 3 men that you probably would have been going in between. Be clear, okay? But either way, so she also goes on to tell him that, you keep bringing up your connection and you're not apologizing. And I'm like, except for the fact that he's apologized multiple times, actually. He apologized to you more than one time. You're just not listening to it. So it is giving that it is about the connection. So Jen says it shouldn't take a connection for him to say those things, and he shouldn't say them at all. And I'm kind of like, two things. One, I can say what the fuck I want to say. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about that. He was having talk amongst his boys, and I don't feel like what he said was really disrespectful. Like, okay, you gave him the ick. Like, you did some stuff that he didn't necessarily like, and he didn't address it with you. I don't care, because he also did some stuff that you didn't like, and you had to let him know that. Right? Kenzie's thrown out the window. The people saying that he never even said that, somebody else said it and he agreed. Okay, calling you a high school girl versus a college girl, like, what are we doing here? I just don't feel like Corbin really said a whole lot or did too much that was really disrespectful, right? But I will give you this, Jen. That is how you disagree with somebody, BIT. When you don't like how somebody moved, and it's fine. We're human. You ain't got to agree with, you don't have to like everything. That is the beauty, right? Of a difference of opinion, a difference of viewpoint. That is the beauty of it. But you will respect me. And I can appreciate how Jen said that to him. Like, well, you do know that you didn't have to do this or that to do this or that, you know? You didn't have to try and put her down or whatever. You building your connection. Like, you didn't have to do that. She didn't have to yell at him across the way. She didn't have to cuss him out. She didn't have to call him out his name. She just simply told him what she didn't like. And it's like, okay, cool. All right. I respect that much better. All right. Either way, Corbin says that's just how I was feeling, though. At the time, like, I was honoring how I was feeling. Again, I don't fault him. You know why? Because the ladies were over there in the villa honoring how they was feeling. Right. So then Kata says, you know what? It's whatever. It's whatever. Because we said the guys in Casa More were more mature than y'all. I said, exactly. That is exactly what I'm thinking. And if you ask me, no, it wasn't different from, I'm sorry, it wasn't disrespectful from either side. It was what it was. But so Zach says that I can't stand that y'all been having me and Zach on the same page. Zach says both sides have said some SHI, so let's just hold each other accountable. Facts. And then it's like, do you really need to hold each other accountable, or is it really on some touche? Because, all right, y'all said that about us. Okay, that's fine, because we made sure to say this about y'all. Oh, y'all did. Oh, okay, cool. We did this. Okay. We even. So, anywho, Kata says that she doesn't want to believe that they the same thing. Okay. It's not the same. Okay, Kata. But you just said that. That's why you was like, oh, no, it's cool, because we also said that the Casa guys were more mature. And then now you saying that you, okay, y'all see how it be when people be stuck in they own. I can't. I can't. One way thinking, I'm cool. So Anaya, anywho, she's still pissed off. All right. She's still upset about the things that she's been seeing. All right. She says that she still feels disrespected. Okay. I kind of feel like, Anaya, baby, you've disrespected yourself more than anybody else here could, really. By not honoring yourself, not putting your own feelings first, not making the best decision. But I guess to you, the best decision was KC. But then at the same time, you're positioning it as though he was so wrong, and you chose to go with him, and you would have went with Carl had you really known how he felt. But you said you wanted some fine shit, and Casey was that fine shit. I feel like regardless of whatever he would have told you, you probably still would have picked Casey. And you just don't like the fact that he came back with somebody. Like, girl, it's whatever. Like, I'm so glad that we moving past them. I'm so glad. So Corbin says that he don't care. He isn't talking to these girls anymore. He said he not building up no more connections. And he good. I said, and you should be. Why would you be over there trying to continue to get to know some people if you over here and you done closed it off with Parmita anyway? Huh? So, anywho, it's Kenzie's turn. I think the girls flipped it. The guys flipped it. It was for the girls. I think they picked again. It's time for Kenzie to get her wax. All right. So her and Caleb are talking, and she has more. She talks about having more in common with him than with Corbin. Right? Yeah, her and Caleb. She has more in common with Caleb than she had with Corbin. Then they go on to show that she wanted to kiss Corbin, right? The girls were watching Kenzie, which was crazy. The same way the guys was looking at Sincere, was exactly how the ladies were looking at Kenzie like, ooh, BLT. Like, girl, I ain't know you was going over there 2 times just telling the people whatever like that. Like, I didn't know you was getting on your Sincere like that. Like, I didn't know that you were Sincere's twin. That's crazy. So Kenzie over there lying to Caleb about being attracted to him. I said, just a liar like her brother. So Kenzie says that she genuinely liked Corbin and she tried with Caleb, but she still wanted Corbin. So Caleb says that he was blindsided and she didn't tell him any of that. And she wasn't telling him the whole truth. And he said that he put a lot of time into her and he wished that he would have explored more had he known that she was out there operating like that. So then Zach calls Kenzie a hypocrite, baby, while he over there whispering and dealing. He's like, see, I told you she over there doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like between you and that dude over there, like, yeah, same shit, different day, different guys. You know what I'm saying? Just a hypocrite. So then Caleb says that you shouldn't be telling me things like this if you knew that you were all in on Corbin, in so many words, right? Same thing I feel Amara was trying to say and get through to Sincere. If you knew that you was all in over there and you was always gonna go back to her, why you over here doing too much with me, getting my feelings involved? So Dylan says that he feels like he is living in the video real time in so many words, and says that he really likes Kenzie and he's crushed and feels like this is like something that could continue to go on, and he don't know, like, is this something that is gonna keep happening or what is it? Right. So she says that she's just trying to be her and grow a connection. Ma'am, I'm sorry, you were growing connections, not just the connection. So she says a kiss to her is like a handshake kind of thing. When I tell you, the guys start looking around like, oh, no, no, don't say that. Like, what? Like, what the hell she saying? So then she says that she is still getting to know people and it wasn't anything exclusive. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad you said that. And I feel like if a lot of people in the villa understood that none of y'all were exclusive, none of y'all were not only were y'all not exclusive, y'all weren't closed off. And if y'all also understood that when Casa Amor comes around, there are no more couples. You guys are actually single in Casa. And also, I said this a few videos back where I have not seen anybody have the proper conversations about boundaries within the connection. We are not closed off. We are open to exploring. However, when we go on these dates, what are some things that we are going to do or not do that's going to be respectful? So when you have people like Kenzie and others that were like, I don't know how to, be in this coupling and then still, keep this one going or do and explore over here or what, have the proper conversations instead of doing all that face sucking that y'all doing. Okay. But that's that. None of y'all were exclusive, all right? And then that's the other thing too, with you using you not being exclusive with anybody and you were just trying to get to know people. Some part of that makes me feel like, well, then what's the real issue with Corbin? Why are we really mad at Corbin? Why we really like what we really mad about? Y'all wasn't exclusive. The only thing again was him saying he was catching feelings. That was it. That was it for me. But anywho, the girls pick again, and it's Melanie's turn. So she's over there kissing Corbin. Then at one point she was kissing Corey. That was something. Then you had Amora and Sincere, kissing at Casa. When I tell you the kisses he lands on other women outside of Melanie, I've never seen him and Melanie kiss like that. Mm-mm. Not even in a challenge for me, honestly. It's crazy. So Sincere tells her if they had more time, this is when he's talking to Amora, she would be the one. So that's another thing that hurts Melanie's feelings. At first, she's staying real quiet. So Amora is like, well, let me just say this. Sometimes rejection is protection. Because like I told y'all, I'm not trying to be a part of y'all little story, y'all little soap opera y'all got going on. So she says that it was good to see Melanie explore, while he was out here doing his thing. At least you got to go out and do yours too. So Melanie says, yeah, but that was the only kiss that I gave. Oh boy. Like y'all was sucking down like multiple times a day, damn near every day when y'all was over there. Like y'all was having some passionate moments, and I ain't even much had that with Corey or nobody else for real, right? So Sincere says, his whole plan was to actually be in Casa, experience it, but he was thinking about both of them, right? He was thinking about Amara, like I like her, but then I'm also weighing my eyes with Melanie. So he was trying to think through it. Child, please. So Melanie says that he should have just chose her then. And he says it was just a timing thing. And this is where Amara, she agrees and says, and you heard it. If it was more time, then he would have chose me, but he's spent more time with you, so he'd rather be with you based on what y'all built. And Melanie is like, but that's what I'm saying. if you knew her in that short enough time to be able to say that she would have been the one, if she would have been there longer, then yeah, if you felt so strongly about her to say that to her, then you should have picked her. Okay. So then Bryce says that he told Bryce was like, well, he told me he could only see himself with you outside the villa though. And Melanie says, yeah, but it seems like he picked me because I'm a fool. I said, baby, I'm glad that you know. I am so glad that you know. Okay. So she tells him that, she's tired of pretty much being disrespected, right? So she's realizing that he just be saying shit. And then his actions not lining up with his words. He tell her one thing, he telling the boys something, and then he go and tell a whole nother chick something else. So she's just feeling like, listen, if you are going to, pick me because I'm a fool, don't pick me. I'd rather you respect me more than anything. And this is what she's already told him. I also feel like this, though, Melanie, as much as you're putting a lot of it on him, you have to hold yourself accountable as well for continuing to partake in the disrespect from somebody. Allowing him to play in your face multiple times. You could have really leaned into getting to know Corbin to see what that could genuinely be, but you was too caught up on Sincere. And I feel like you used Kenzie and Corbin's connection as a scapegoat for you to not be all in. So for me, I just feel like you got to take a little bit of that too, right? But anywho, Sincere brings up her and Corbin, but I will say, why did he? I don't know why he really brought it. I know why I brought it up, but I don't know why he would bring it up. He made it seem like she really did something. I'm like, she ain't do enough with Corbin. Yeah, she may have pulled him for a chat or something like that, but she ain't really do enough with him. So she yells that she looks like an idiot. I think that's when she stood up or something. She was like, I look like an idiot. If you're going to pick me, then stand on it. And he's saying, I'm sorry. And she's like, I don't fuck with a sorry. I said, come on, Melanie. Get him to yell at him. Get him together. But where your other chirpers at? Y'all had a lot of energy. Okay, the people were trying to say that the clips were shot out of order. And for me personally, I don't care how they were shot. Okay, energy can be the same from beginning to end, regardless of the order that it was shot in. Hello? Let's be clear. But based on how this scene went down, I don't believe it was shot out of order. And whatever dried up tear y'all saw on Melanie's face, that particular shot of Melanie could have been from after she cried or something about something when she was sitting there. They could have pieced that part together. Like her reactions could have been shot at different times, but as far as the flow of how all of the movie nights rolled out, I think they rolled out in the order in which they showed it to us. But that's just what I think. Okay. But I was liking that she was snapping on him and that she was getting him together, but at the same time, like, you still gonna take him back. So what we doing? And why your girl's not loud? Y'all see her crying. At one point, she couldn't even open her damn mouth. Y'all didn't want to be her mouthpiece? Where was y'all at? Why y'all not hooping and hollering and stomping and cussing and fussing and all? What's going on? Not y'all big mouths sat up there and let Sincere tell y'all to shut up. Not Sincere was the one to tell y'all to shut up and y'all shut the hell up. That's crazy. So Amora, she goes on to say that she didn't know the extent of their relationship. I kind of feel like you did. I mean, you watched the show with everybody else before you go into the villa, so I feel like you knew a little something. But and then honestly, Amora, there was no extent. Okay, there was no extent of the relationship because they were not exclusive. They were not closed off. They weren't. And they also did not set boundaries about anything. So, I don't know. You know, yikes. So I just feel like y'all should have just did a little bit more in Casa. For real. Y'all knew how you, and I feel like out of anybody, all the ladies knew how Sincere was coming. If out of anybody, Sincere should have been the most unpredictable one. Or shall I say the most predictable one? Y'all should have already knew exactly how this man was going to be coming. So instead of y'all picking all them men that we was all, I feel like as all of America was surprised that y'all picked and y'all let the ones that look like they look walk away. And we was like, what? So y'all pick the people that y'all know for sure y'all not finna give a chance to. Just to stay loyal to the men that's not finna stay loyal to y'all. That's crazy. But either way, it is what it is. All right. So Amora, she said that, and then Melanie gets to yelling and stuff and asking him to fix it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fix it. Like yeah, if you're gonna pick me, stand on it. And I said, Melanie, I see what you're doing. You want him to ask you to be his girlfriend. That's what I feel like you want. I don't think it's so much as make me a breakfast, do this and that by the water. Because even if he did that, I feel like she still will be asking him to fix it. So what she's looking for is, in my opinion, a commitment. And what other commitment could he give her in this moment outside of asking her to be his girlfriend? Right? Because closing it off is one thing. Yeah, if anybody else come in, which they not, more than likely not gonna come in, it'll, y'all will be locked in within the villa. But then calling her your girlfriend will then send a message to America. And then when y'all get outside of the villa, if you see a life with me or something like that outside of this villa, she wants him to make her his girlfriend. That is what she's looking for. And honestly, Melanie, I kind of hope he doesn't give you that right now. Because I just feel like he should show you a little bit more than that before you just jump to that and agree to a title of being a girlfriend if the actions really are not going to change. I don't, y'all let me know your thoughts on that. But Anaya, she runs after Melanie after she storms off and they talk about Sincere and all of that. And Anaya, she still believes that Sincere has genuine intentions for Melanie. He's just lustful AF. And I'm just like, oh, I guess, okay. Okay. All right, that's interesting that you believe that Sincere has genuine intentions when I feel like he's shown y'all the worst. But you didn't believe, oh boy had Let's keep going. So then Melanie wants him to leave her alone, is what she says, and she's crying. I'm like, Melanie, I want you to always understand and know that you have an option in this. He ain't got to do nothing. You can make the decision for him too. You can completely leave him the hell alone. And that's fine too. All right. But you don't want to. And we get that as well. So Anaya is now coming to give KC an apology while he's with the guys. It was kind of rushed. She ran over there like, hey, just want to apologize to you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know that how I acted was really rude. It was disrespectful. I should have never done that. You had, like, there was no reason I should have ever did that and stood up on you, stood over you, yelled at you. None of that. Completely disrespectful. I know if it was me, I would not have wanted that either. And he apologizes to her too for him also standing up as well. He was like, I just wanted to be heard. I felt like I wasn't being heard in that moment, which is why I stood up and I apologize if it made you feel anyway. Okay. I was like, okay. Y'all done calmed the social media down a little bit. Y'all have calmed America a little bit. All right. They was at a 15. They may be at an 8 right now. And that's okay. Okay, y'all done turned the people down just slightly. Anaya goes and tell the girls that she apologized. And so Parmita is saying the guys can explore, but you don't have to compare. And I disagree. I disagree. I feel like the ladies were comparing. It's about how you compare, not that you don't have to compare. You absolutely can compare. This person doesn't do too much for me. This one does. I'm more connected to this person than I am that person. I don't have much in common with this person, but I got this, and that in common with the other person. It's not going, comparisons aren't going to always be in your damn favor. Comparisons aren't going to always be sweet. Sometimes comparisons going to hurt your ass. It's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to be what it is. Okay. Sometimes the truth damn hurts, girl. It is what it is. All right, let's move on. So TT tells Anaya that he did bring her up a lot, though. Like, he didn't like completely not acknowledge you or anything. He did bring you up. She says, there were good things that he said about you and the connection that y'all had. But Anaya's feelings were also valid, is something that TT says. And she says that she gets it. I understand that it's hard for you to watch that and feel the way that you feel. I also get that. And Anaya says that she gets why TT defended KC. Like, that's your guy. Like, nobody wants to sit up there and watch their guy be yelled at by a bunch of people. Like, I get that, right? I just like the moments. This little section here, I'm like, this is the grown-up talk that I feel we could have had a long time ago. All right. I like this. So then Anaya says all the guys knew. She was like, all the guys knew. My thing is just all the guys knew and no one told me. And had I known, I could have just picked Carl. So would you have picked Carl because you genuinely like Carl, or would you have picked Carl to save yourself from the embarrassment and the hurt that you've been experiencing? Okay. And in addition to that, Anaya, what the hell was they gonna tell you? Because if he's over in Casa, once everybody returned to Casa, nobody's supposed to give away for real, whether that person is gonna come back with somebody else or not. You're not gonna get a heads up about him bringing TT, right? And when it comes to how he felt about you, even though Zach and Bryce would be messy in the challenges, when you had the conversation with Zach, And I also feel like, Sincere, I feel like others told you this, even though Sincere said something about Soul, it looked like his ex or whatever. I feel like they all still told you that how he feel. I feel like Bryce and I think Trinity were probably the only ones that probably told you something different. But for the most part, everybody else told you that whatever he's telling you, he's telling us, like he actually likes you, whatever the case is. But for some reason, you always wanted to believe other people than you wanted to believe him. So here we are, child. Let's move on. And then everybody just saw, and then that's the other thing too. Everybody saw a different damn KC in Casa. Even KC even fucked around and saw a different KC in Casa. I'm screaming, doing too damn much, saying he knew he did not mean. Just running your choppers because you trying to follow. Okay, you was giving a piece of follower too behind Corbin, putting them chips in you. But anywho, TT does apologize again to the ladies about, whether if she came off aggressive with them. And they was like, nah, like, girl, we came off aggressive too. And I can appreciate everybody acknowledging how they showed up in a situation, even when they didn't want to acknowledge that. But just like some of the guys watched themselves on the screen and came to a realization like, oh, damn, they look bad. When y'all, this is the reason why I feel like a lot of the Islanders, when they come out of the villa, they should watch themselves on the show. Y'all should see that, especially before y'all go into these interviews. But anywho, yeah, so Casey says that he can take full accountability for everything he said, and that's what he could have, in my opinion, right? Let me go back. Casey says that he takes accountability for everything that he said. He says he could have did a much better job than what he did. He does admit that he sounded like a dumbass. He said some dumb shit. Exactly. You could have. You definitely could have did better. And I'm glad that you got to see yourself. So Dylan says that he still really likes Kenzie and wants to take it to the end. Boy, shut the fuck. That's crazy.
Boy, if you don't get
Okay, Dylan. Okay, Dylan. Dylan, I do think that you may be a good guy. I don't think that Kenzie is a good gal. Dylan says that he thinks she really likes him, but he thinks that she also likes you, and your cousin too. I do. I think that she likes all of you guys, and I just don't know, if it's a game to her where I fit in with all of that. I am a bit concerned. Girl, good luck, Dylan. Anaya tells Kenzie that it looks bad for her, especially how she did Caleb. All right. It did, baby. Baby. It did, baby. And you know I love you, baby. But baby, it was bad, baby. Baby, I'm telling you, baby. How you did Caleb, it was fucked up, baby. Oh my God. So Zach and Kata are talking, right? And so Zach tells Kata that it was irrelevant for him to bring up the fact that Miss Girl ended up leaving before he really could make a decision. This whole conversation between the two of them really did not matter, right? To me, I know Kata felt like it wasn't irrelevant because he tried to say that he was forcing himself to kiss the girl whole time you was over there really downplaying everything. Okay. But at the end of the day, the reason why it didn't matter is because they were over there laughing and hugging, and we're gonna still sleep in the bed together tonight at the end of the day. So what the hell is we doing? Jen tells Kenzie to put herself first and all that SHI that I was feeling about Gal, child. Listen, I don't even give a damn no more, girl. Go do what you gonna do. Cause he ain't no prize and you damn sure not about to win one. So good luck. Carl and Anaya are talking and she still feels like she looked crazy. You did, mama. You did, baby. Baby, you did, baby. You look crazy. You did. And Carl told her, when you put your heart out there and it tore your ass up at the end of the day. You put your heart out there and this is just you landed on your ass. And he was not wrong. He was not wrong at all. She was like, literally, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. So he tells her that she's all good, and I do think that her coming to apologize to Casey in front of him, I think that did make an impression on him. Because I guarantee you, Carl sat up there cringing just like the rest of us were. Okay. But they seem to be cool so far. So Casey says that he didn't like seeing, himself like that on screen, saying the stuff that he said. He said he just really did not like it. So he does want to talk to Anaya. And Anaya says that Carl made her feel so much more comfort than Casey has. Okay, girl. Okay. But you was kind of saying some of that same stuff over there in Casa, as if he reassures you more than Casey, only for you to still not pick this guy. Now I just wonder if she like his ass either. Or are you just glad to have somebody while you in the villa? Like, huh? I like Cardo. I will hope that the situation y'all got going on is real, but all right, girl. So she says, even after the fact, she felt like Casey did not come and comfort her. And she wants him to sit his ass down and just say that he's wrong, right? And I'm like, but when he did tell you that he was wrong, it was not enough for y'all, and y'all still got on his ass. But the people who asses needed to got on, y'all sat back on mute. Doing a mute challenge. It's crazy. So Casey, Corbin, and Caleb, he says that he hasn't talked to Anaya. This is Casey, but he feels like his words don't hold no weight. He says that he has to apologize because he felt like it was disrespectful. Okay? Just watching it, him cringing, okay? His stomach falling to his ass. Okay? Yeah, he felt the way. He know that the shit that he was doing on that screen, he probably won't want nobody to do that with him. So he gonna own up to his actions and have that conversation. So Caleb opens up about him and Jaden, and he don't feel like she that into him. And I was like, look at Corbin now. Corbin has been had this in from Corbin switched. Okay, something didn't happen. Corbin stepped into a different universe when he got his S in Casa. Ever since Corbin went over to Casa, the viewpoint for me has slowly been shifting. I don't know. I don't know what that is. All right, because Corbin tells Caleb that he should have that conversation. Like, I understand that you think that Jen may not be into you, she may not like you, but the very thing you are withholding from letting her know, like having her go over there and you go your way, have that conversation with her, and it could really open the connection up for real. Like, I was like, okay, Corbin, not you giving Big Brother advice. Is you okay? And I feel like it's a little piece of what's her name, Parmita, or a piece of Casa. Because the personality, I remember the girls saying, when they first were looking at Corbin, they were like, oh, he's so fine and he's this, that, he got a nice body. And oh my God, he got a personality too. And I was like, where is it? What are you talking about? Okay, I mean, he got a little piece of something. Go ahead, Corbin. So Kenzie and Kata are talking, and Kata lets her know, girl, this look bad. I'm not even finna hold you. It looks bad. Like, girl, it really was giving sincere. Do you know that? It was terrible. And Kenzie says that she didn't lie about anything that Caleb she did, kind of tell him how she was feeling about what's his name? Corbin. And I'm just like, girl, did you not watch the Okay. Okay, Kenzie. Because you did lie to that man. Whether you told him about, oh, I really like, Corbin, you were telling this man that you had more in common with him than Corbin. You were more interested. I want to see where we can go. We can this and that. Like, ma'am, you were lying. You were lying. She ain't no different than Sincere. And then Kato gonna say, I want to be hard on Kenzie, but not too hard because it's been crazy the past few days. Nah, fuck that. Be hard on your girl so she don't further go on to embarrass herself on this damn television screen. What? Y'all sat up there calling damn, well, not you in particular, but y'all over here calling Anaya a dummy, a dumbass, and all this other. Why she ain't no dumbass? She looks stupid as hell. You ain't got to talk to her proper. Okay? She'll get it. The fuck? Like, she would get it. Anywho, Anaya was disappointed and Sincere, and she thinks he's playing everybody. He talks about how he wants to fix it with Melanie, and he don't really know how. And she says, yeah, you need to figure it out because she on her last straw. All right. He's talking about how he doesn't deserve her. Y'all, that's one of the worst things. I do not want to ever hear no shit. It's always the that say the F boys that always say so. I feel like I don't deserve her. I feel like I don't deserve you. Girl, that's to me, run. When you hear that, run. Because he knew what he telling you a long time ago, but he didn't give a damn. And if you think that it's going to stop when he get out here outside this villa, you got another thing coming, baby. Because regardless of how that man has treated you on this screen, the way his DMs are overly loaded, the way the DMs is overly loaded, that's why I'm like, don't take that title right out the gate, that girlfriend. Okay, I feel like he need to prove whatever he finna prove in the villa, do the dates, whatever it is, grovel, I don't know, get outside, show you even more before you sit up there and accept the title as girlfriend. But that's what she really wants from him. And it's no point in accepting that when he looks in his DMs and he sees some fine shit. and starts going after her. But you gonna find what you're looking for, Melanie. I just don't think it's him. I want you to tell him hell no so bad, but I don't want you to put yourself in a position that's really gonna get you kicked off yet. But we only got a week left, so it's really whatever. Okay, Bryce and Melanie chat, and she's glad that he got to see himself on camera. And Bryce also tells her the same thing that Anaya been saying, that they really feel like she the one for him or all this other bullshit. But Melanie still don't care about that, so she says, okay. Casey, he's feeling sad about his actions. He want to pull Anaya for a chat. And you hear him in the bathroom talking to the guys. And Bryce and Sincere has said, I think you guys can recover. And Sincere said, I think it's salvageable. I said, what the hell is that? Y'all talking about a friendship, right? Because it's not going to be a relationship. That is DEAD. Okay. Dylan and Kenzie talk. She apologizes to him again and says that he's the realest thing she's gotten out the villa. Shut the fuck. Girl, if you don't, girl, where is that? Cause I can't. I cannot with her.
Yes, girl.
Mm-mm.
If any motherfucker ever needed to sit they stupid ass down, you that bitch. You that bitch.
Because, he's the realest thing you got out the villa, baby. The way these people have been showing the video of Kenzie hugging Dylan and that face that she makes when she hugs him, they said she's so mad she got to settle down. I fell out because she finna play you too. She finna play you too when you get out this villa, Dylan, but you gonna go. That's what you want. So good luck, honey, okay? Casey and Anaya chat, all right? They finally have the grown-up chat, the chat that Anaya has seeming to have wanted for a long time. And this is the chat I actually wanted when he pulled her the first damn time. This is how he should have led that conversation instead of pulling her for a chat and wanting her to lead the conversation, right? So he tells her, he said a lot of BS. He over there cringing at himself as he watch it. He says he held in so much because he didn't want to keep arguing with her. And that, I think, is exactly how it be going. They be building up resentment for you instead of just figuring out a way to express yourself, right? But anywho, he said he held in a lot. He didn't want to keep arguing. He built up a resentment, and she didn't know anything about that. So he says his feelings for her were not fake, though. She wasn't a safe option for him. He said, as much as we may have had some times, we had good times too. Right. And he said, if you want to hate me, dislike me, I completely understand, but I want you to know that I'm sorry. And that, I was like, good job. This should have happened a day or so ago. And if it would have happened, I want to believe that the hooping and hollering at movie night may not have happened. But at the same time, what I have watched Anaya do on the show is when things happen between she and Casey, she does not relay it accurately to others how it actually happened. So with that being said, even if he would have probably apologized to her, he's still gonna get his ass cussed out. Because it seemed like for the ladies, it felt good to pounce on his ass at the end of the day. Okay, but not nobody else, but we gonna give it to you because we see you as probably one of the weaker ones here. All right. So Anaya says that she really does care about him as well. She respects the apology that he gave her. She wants him to be happy, and same for him, right? He says that he thinks that Carl is good. Like they look good together. He's happy that she's with Carl. He's happy things are good, right? And she says, make sure you treat TT right. And he was like, oh yeah, no doubt about it. Like I will. He says that he's happy, right? And that he never wants to treat TT how he did Anaya because it's not cool, it's not noble, and it is cowardly in his opinion. Okay, so I'm glad you were able to see that and learn some things about yourself, sir, as you move forward. And let me tell you, if ain't nobody else gonna deal with it, TT ain't gonna deal with it. So you can't do her like you did Anaya. Understand? Because some people just ain't gonna go for anything. Anywho, child. So I really like this sit down that Anaya and he had. It was great. It was good. It was healthy. And we can all move forward. Hopefully, social media has calmed down even more. Hopefully, we got y'all down from an 8 to at least a 5 or a 4. All right, Melanie and Sincere chat. He says he used to always, because she's trying to figure out why you like this, and he was like, you wonder why I say these certain things to people. I do the stuff that I do. It's because in my childhood, I said, now, how did I know we was going to go to the childhood? How did I know we was going to go that far back? So he said in his childhood, he was a people pleaser and it bled into his adulthood. Baby, the way Melanie clocked the shit out of him. He said now he hurting the one person he valued the most in the villa. Boy, shut the hell up. So Melanie asked him, okay, well, let me ask you something. What about soul? What part of that was people pleasing? I said, I know that's right. Mother, right? Like, what part of that was people pleasing? Boo. So he says that wasn't people pleasing. He said that was just no. She said it wasn't him people pleasing. It was him trying to find a connection, right? And he said, you know what, that was disrespect. You right? It was straight up. Yeah, I can't even say that. Like I just gotta say whatever you say. You right? It was disrespect. So she now says that she don't believe that he talking about. She says she spent her entire summer up here crying, and he doesn't deserve to be in a couple with her. And she looked at him and told him, and you know what else? You made your bed, so now you got to lay in it. And now you got to figure it out. But when I hear that, it's still giving, she wants to be the girlfriend. I think she wants more than just, like I said earlier, cute little dates around the island. Him not, talking to nobody else. Like she probably want him to pick another flower up off the yard and give it to her. But she wants more than that. She really wants probably a cute date that's going to come with, will you be my girlfriend? And that's interesting. I wonder if he's going to give her that. I wonder if he's a part of the final four and they do those dates. Y'all know how they do at the very end, the real beautiful dates. Y'all remember that one? When Chris told, oh girl, I'm not gonna carry you. I can't. But anywho, I wonder if Sincere is going to carry Melanie out of the villa as his girlfriend. Some part of me feels like he will, because he may feel like he owe her that for the time that he wasted. But if he does not do that, I still will understand, because I do not think that he is meant to be taken serious outside nor inside the damn villa. But that's just what I think. All right. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below about everything that we just got into, honey. I am Jami. That's me. Like up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend